Hmm? You know what time it is. It's the tones only podcast. You know what it is. What's happening? I feel like I say what's happening every time. But what's happening? This is the Tones Only podcast. And this is your lead podcaster, none other than DM. It's me. And so we're here again for number 7. We've been doing pretty good, man. Number 7, episode 7, and I think we've been having some good conversations. I hope things have been understandable, and I hope that things have been working out all right. It's pretty good. But it's cool old song, be behind the banner. But yeah, today we got another good one for you. And we're just gonna sit and talk about it, and we see if we can get the whole idea out. You know what? I think I want to play. Hold on, I think I want to play. See, let me start the music. See, life is very, very simple, but we don't make it simple. And so a lot of times we are, this is what we're going to talk about a little bit today, because a lot of times we are struggling to do things that naturally come from us if we'd only chill out and let ourselves breathe. And there's a line on this song I'm about to play, and it was like, the part that you play is to grow, and I will water you. In other words, like all you got to do is sit there and grow. You grow. I remember, being a little kid, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I don't even know how I grew up into a man besides just kept living. Like I didn't expire, I just kept living. And I grew up into a grown man. I got taller, just everything kind of went proportionally. And there was nothing that I could do about it. I mean, there was nothing that I did to add it. There's nothing I did to take away. It was just, I just grew. It was natural. I expanded just naturally. And so I think let me play a little bit of the song real quick. Hold on. Waiting for her to believe, making the best of her needs, saying the words that I see. She don't understand what I mean. I be trying to tell her I'm in love with you and that's forever. But she ain't trying to hear me. What I gotta do to show what I see. Cause I wanna look alright. You're the best that I've ever had. Cause I wanna look alright. And I bet we can make it last. Cause I wanna look alright. New music. It's like a DJ. The part that you play is to grow. All right, listen. I'll play the rest of it at the end after we finish talking. Let me put this instrumental back up, man, because y'all ain't ready for that. So yeah, so we make things very, very difficult. And I think I understand the problem. There's several different reasons why we do what we do, but I can understand the issues that we have because nobody's really ever told us that we were enough. It's the truth. You are enough. But we have these illusions of grandeur and these illusions of necessity and these illusions of desires. And even as I'm saying it to you right now, you can almost be like, this guy's tripping. He don't know what he's talking about. Oh, that's too deep. That's too far. But the actuality is not deep at all. It's actually the simplest form of thinking. And since we've been alive, we've been wanting stuff and we've been needing stuff. And we've been telling us, we've been told who we are and who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it and all these different things. And the nature of us hasn't been able to really take course to the truth that it is. I even hate the idea that we say, people say in church a lot of times about a sin nature. Well, no, it's not really. You learn to not know who you are. The idea of sin is really just not knowing who you are. It's an archery term, means missing the mark. It means you're missing the mark that you are from the beginning. But you learn this. You don't inherit it, you learn it. And so I don't know, it's just I was born this way. Well, it must be born again. Right? Like one of those things. But I guess the point I'm trying to get to is I'm watching the basketball game. It's really a replay of the basketball game, go Lakers. And so I'm watching it, and they do, if you ever watch, sometimes you don't see it on like TNT or ESPN, but if you watch on NBA TV, you got like a little league pass or whatever, they actually show you what's going on in the actual arena. If you ever been to a professional NBA game, there's always in between timeouts, they're doing little games and different things with the crowd. Giveaways, they're throwing stuff out in the crowd, shooting stuff out the little cannon, little t-shirt cannon, all kind of stuff. So, on NBA TV, they actually show, that stuff that goes on during the timeouts or whatever. So in this particular one, man, they were doing, and some of y'all might know the show Deal or No Deal, and they were doing Deal or No Deal where they bring the suitcases out. And they was doing a smaller version because they only had short times. They had 3 suitcases. So, the highest number was $250. The lowest was, I don't know, $100, something like that. So they're going through the whole process. And if you know the process of Deal or No Deal, the idea is, do I take what's open in this suitcase right here, or do I wait because there could be more in the next one, or there could be more in another suitcase I choose? And that's pretty much, that's kind of the gist of it. Some people might be a Deal or No Deal expert and telling me I'm getting it wrong, but you get the gist of it, right? So, you pick. You're nervous because, like, man, I could have $1 million, right? Like, or I can get 500,000, right? And I can get 50,000, man. And so now, what happens is you open up a container with 20,000, you know what I'm saying, or 10,000, 5,000, whatever, and you pass it up for the chance to get the higher number. It's ultimate FOMO. FOMO, FOMO, is FOMO. It's fear of missing out. It's ultimate FOMO. And I think FOMO becomes the issue with us as humanity and as how we function with everything. It's ultimate. Most of us live off of FOMO. And most people capitalize off of the FOMO that we deal with. They make this illusion of this thing and then capitalize off it, make you spend your money for that business, make you spend your money to do that deal, or make you spend your money to get that, and or make you go over here or go over here. They the ones who got it, or they the ones who got it. And you're shifting so much that you're never still enough to grow. Trees can't really grow if they're constantly moving. But if they can stay still enough, they can grow out to be what they're supposed to be. And we're the same way, but a lot of times we can't stay still enough. So now we got this ultimate FOMO, and the game goes like this, and you're nervous. And then if you do 20,000, and then you pick the other container and pick the other thing, and it has less than that, and you're like, oh man, I could have got the bigger number, but now I didn't get 20,000. Oh, I just got 5,000. Well, here's the catch. What did you have when you got there? Oh, wait. So when you started the game, you had 0, which means in the game you can't lose because nothing can be taken from you. But the illusion of more and having more, and if I get this, I can do this, then it makes you forget that what you have already. And I know in that just you're like, well, I ain't got nothing yet, so I'm just gonna play the game. But why feel sad that you didn't get $1 million when you got 5,000, which you came here without 5,000? Right? It's this idea, and I can dip off into a conversation about gratitude easily here, right? But that's not really what I'm trying to get to. Gratitude is a part of it. Let me talk about gratitude then. Gratitude is the antidote to greed. See, we only reaching for more things because we're not thankful for what we have. You say, well, I am thankful. I just got desires. Okay, cool. You just keep your conversation. But I'm saying to you now that greed comes and you want more and more and more and more and more because you hadn't done what you're supposed to do with what you have already. You don't even acknowledge that you have. The most important things about you, I always say, are the things that are inside you right now. I'm talking about your heart, your brain, your mind, everything. And money can't buy that. And so it's this conversation of FOMO. You're reaching out. Well, don't make me get on the Garden of Eden. It's the absolute example of this. You're telling me that if I eat from this tree, I'll have knowledge of good and evil, assuming that I don't have knowledge of good and evil already, or assuming that, and I wasn't even functioning. I didn't even know there was something different about good and evil. But for some kind of reason, the idea of missing out, fear of missing out, makes me reach. Deal or no deal. Let's make a deal. If you eat off this tree, you can have knowledge of good and evil. But who said that I didn't have it? Right? And then who said that it wasn't going to come from me in another time in a better way? I've seen people get positions and situations and relationships and money and different things that they always wanted. And they never they never take the time to grow themselves. And then they get this thing that is too heavy for their branches to carry. Apples don't grow on twigs. And there's a reason for it. Fruits don't grow on twigs, and there's a reason for it. Not big fruits. You might get a little grape, a little berries here and there, but big fruits, they don't grow on twigs because the twigs don't have the fortitude or the strength or the build to handle the weight of carrying that kind of fruit. And so we end up getting things that we think we want, but we haven't built up the fortitude, the strength, the consistency, the conditioning to be able to maintain those things, and the weight ends up crushing us. And now we're scrambling trying to get our lives together. But it's a deal or no deal. But you didn't have anything before you came. So why are you upset or crying about not getting the bigger thing when you didn't have anything? Like, you're almost playing a game. And if somebody's playing good, you're almost playing a game that you can't lose. Okay, so I leave with zero. Well, came with zero. And so now we're here and we got this idea that I'm made in the image of God and this likeness. I have everything of him on the inside of me, but then I'm fearing that somebody's hiding something from me or that I'm missing out on something. So I reach outside of myself to grab something. When in actuality, everything that I needed was already on the inside of me. It's the fear of missing out. It's the fear of not having. So now we have, commerce, economy, all these different things. Well, I want that kind of house. And I want that kind of house. I want that kind of car. I want that kind of car. I want that kind of woman. I want that kind of man. And I want this kind of story and that kind of story. And I want this kind of business. I want all this stuff. And every day, these commercials, these ads are for that exact idea of FOMO. They're telling you that you don't have something that you should have. Now, I'm not saying don't buy anything. I'm not saying don't, aspire to do anything. It's not about that. But it's what foundation are you doing it from? There's one or two places you're going to live. You're going to live for things or you're going to live from something. And that's how you're going to engage things. And so many times people live for something. They live for the thing that they're reaching out. They live for the thing that they're trying to get. And in turn, it doesn't come out like they want because they don't know what they have already. Right? Everything that is came from something that was already. And if we can take that mentality and live from the fact that, at the end of the day, whether good or bad, whether up or down, I'm still great because I'm living, right? Whether no matter what it is, I'm still great because the most important thing, which is life, is going on inside of me. It's amazing. Us as humankind, and let's get this clear. I call them first world problems sometimes because we tend to complain about the air conditioning going on. And I once again, I appreciate the air conditioning. I'm not being like, that's not how I'm being, y'all, but I'm saying, like, we tend to make problems out of things and we call them first world when actually whatever we call first world, third world, all that stuff, which I don't like all those labels, but for the sake of understanding, you'll get it. When there are problems where people don't have running water and you're upset about your water not getting warm enough because your hot water heater isn't working. And it gets to a point to where you become ungrateful without even knowing it. That's crazy, ain't it? That we become ungrateful without even knowing that we're being ungrateful. And then we get to complaining and all these different things, and before you know it, we're acting out of order. We're acting out of the gratitude that we should have towards life in general, just because. And it becomes wild, man, because we just forget the FOMO. Like, the FOMO makes us, not see what we have. It makes us not be able to function from what we have. Truth of the matter is, we all should be functioning from the greatness that's on the inside of us. We're not even allowing ourselves to blossom. We can't even blossom because we think that flower over there is the one that everybody's supposed to look like, or that flower over there. And we can't even realize that yours is a part of the grand bouquet that we call life, the grand bouquet that we call humanity. And so this might keep falling. I don't know. And so here we are, just being all kind of different ways because we don't know who we really are, and we haven't calmed down enough to even do that. You feel me? So I think you play some music while this is making this noise. There we go. And so it's deal or no deal. So now, what deals are you making based on what you think you don't have? right? And you're making, like, for instance, I could never understand why I would see these commercials on TV, and I kind of feel this way about cryptocurrency and all that. I know somebody about to cuss me out right now because they didn't buy some, but I kind of feel this way about it. But I'm going to leave it alone for right now because most people say you don't understand and you don't understand and everybody understands. But I could never get why on TV they would be trying to sell gold. You know, these commercials come on late at night and they be like, you can get these gold coins. They're going to be worth so much money. You can get this gold and get these gold bars and get this. And we're like, well, how do I get the gold bars? And be like, well, send this amount of money. And I'm like, whoa, wow. If what you're doing is selling me something and you're trying to guarantee me that it's going to increase in value. But if it's so valuable, why are you selling it to me for my invaluable dollars? If it's going to pop off so great, then why are you selling me this great product that is so amazing? I know mankind enough to know that majority of mankind yet, because we haven't conditioned ourselves as a world yet, is not that helpful. We are very selfish. We're very us. We want a ball. We want to be a top. We want to be a boss. Everybody wants a CEO. We have a numerous amounts of LLCs and companies and entrepreneurs because nobody wants to work for anybody. Everybody wants to be the boss. You know, they say, well, the economy is going up because there's so many companies. That don't mean just because a company is there doesn't mean it's beneficial. Because if it's a busted company, then what's the point? I digress. But I'm saying I'm gonna sell you these gold. I don't know. Why don't you keep the gold bars? I know humanity is not that helpful. I know the higher ups are the one that they're not trying to let you in on the wealth. So whatever company that's doing this, they're trying to get your dollars and sell you a dream. But FOMO, it's going to be worth something in 20 years. You better not miss out on this deal. And so you're getting this because it's going to be popping in 20 years and you're missing your right now. I ain't knocking nobody that done bought gold. I ain't knocking nobody's crypto and that stuff. But I just have to have those conversations because I'm trying to figure out why you trying to trade me this wonderful commodity for my dollars. And then I know you say, well, this investment, so they're going to use the dollars to make more things so that the amount of this can go up. You're almost like you're investing and you're helping to go up. I understand and I get all that, but in order for some of that stuff to work, the whole thing got to shut down and get on a whole new frame of living. And my point is, it's not about gold. It's not about crypto. It's not about anything. It's just the fact that we've been victims to FOMO. We've been victims to deal or no deal. We've been victims to missing out on things. You know, we have these first world problems. We want to, I got to eat right. I got to be able to get food or whatever. And the food that you want to get is at a drive-thru or at a restaurant. Like, yo, you can go outside and eat grass and sustain. Which, come on. We can go eat grass and get water from somewhere else and sustain and live. We don't want to do that, though, because, we want to be fancy. We just want to be, and once again, I like restaurants too. But the idea is I'm not anti anything. It's not anti any of those ideas. It's anti, like, you not thinking through things. We not thinking through things, which in turn makes us ungrateful. And then we make deals or we live our lives running after things forever. Even relationships are like that. People get so distraught because they don't have somebody. And you got somebody, you got yourself. Like, what are we talking about? And at the end of the day, it was like, was you born with a mate? Nah, you made it perfectly fine coming in like that. Your life was not dependent on somebody being there with you as a lifelong partner. And so those things are okay, but you have to do it from a different foundation. You can't do it from a make me whole foundation or I need this. You can't do it from my need. You have to live from a I have, and now I'm adding. I am building, I am growing. Growth is always adding to what is already. You understand what I'm saying? It's never a tree doesn't grow branches because it's missing something. The branches are part of the process. The fruit is a part of the process. It doesn't have fruit because it's missing something. No, it's a part of the process. It's a part of the growth. And so deal or no deal, man. We have to deal. You have to deal. I deal. The word deal, man. I wrote down something today, man. It's like, insecurities. And it's funny to me that we deal with depression and trauma. You've heard me say, some of y'all have heard me say this before, and we make deals with all these different things. I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with this. Well, that's it. The deal. You should look up the word deal. Let me look up the word deal. See what I find. Let me see something real quick. Deal definition. Okay, it says to distribute cards. Okay, deal cards. Okay, distribute or to meet out to distribute something. All right, to take part in commercial trading of a particular commodity. To take measures concerning, especially with intention of putting something right. And just an agreement into an agreement entered by two or more parties for their mutual benefit. Wow, like two or more parties entering in. So now you're dealing with things, and you see your words. You say, it's semantics. No, but you're actually dealing with them, and that's why they never leave. That's why they never leave and they never go anywhere. A deal, a part, a portion, etymology, a part, a portion, a part of the whole, a share, right? The extent, degree, the quantity, amount. So now you're dealing with something. It's to divide. So now dealing with something means you're dividing yourself and giving yourself to a part of that thing that you're dealing with. That's crazy, right? Because you're dealing with stuff. Deal with insecurities. I wrote down, I told you this today, I said, insecurity is about things that were never meant to secure me in the first place. It's like taking health advice from a sick person, right? That's never taken care of themselves, or like taking, financial advice from somebody that's never had money, saved money, or anything, right? It's almost like I'm feeling insecure about something that doesn't have the ability to secure me. And see, once again, now his deal or don't deal, because we've been told all these things that can secure us. We've been told all these things that can make us this, and it'll make you that. And if you get this, you'll be like this, and you get it. And we're chasing and we're chasing and we're chasing. And we never sit still long enough to know that it's already all in me. If I could just calm down, the security is in who I really am. This is all the big bro was trying to tell us. This is all Jesus was trying to say. So he tells you give up, leave. Nobody ain't left the house and lands and mother. And the stuff is so challenging. It's so challenging because you think your life is built in all those things. So when he starts saying lose your life, you don't know what to do because you done built your life, or you done built something. I'll tell you, deny yourself. What does that mean? And so because we have a posture of missing out, our posture of FOMO, we think that those things are sacrifices. In actuality, they're freedoms. Nobody left houses, lands, mothers, fathers, children, whatever. Am I saying to God, right? He's trying to say forsake them. He said forsake them, right? Put them on the side, right? And you get 100-fold, right? That's what he says. Well, because you live from a place, we live from a place of need and want, and we think we're missing out, then we think that that's a sacrifice. He's asking for something that's so hard from us. When actually, after you flip it, he's trying to free you from all of those things that have you in an identity that's limiting your being. He's trying to free you to something. I heard a statement the other day that says, God's will is always good and is always better than what you plan. And it says, it's not about you not making plans. You can make plans, but at the end of the day, you should say, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. Because there's always something bigger than what you could think. And so we just have a fear of missing out. So I deal or no deal. I just, no deal. No deal. Like I don't want to deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with any of those things. I don't want to deal. I'm not making deals with things that are outside of me that diminish what's on the inside of me. I won't make a deal. I won't forget who I really am with or without the thing. I love what Job said. Job said, though he slay me, yet I'll trust him. So whether everything good and everything bad, or however I feel, or whatever my perspective is, I'm going to be who I'm supposed to be regardless. The truth of the matter is that's how it is anyway. Like you can't be nothing but what you're supposed to be anyway. But I got you acting all out of sorts because you think that something outside of you is going to make you. Yeah. This deal, no deal. Let me play this song for y'all so y'all can hear it. And then I'm going to get on out of here. Once again, this is the Tones Only podcast. Watch this. Waiting for her to believe, making the best of the needs, saying the words that I see. She don't understand what I mean. I be trying to tell her I'm in love with you and that's forever. But she ain't trying to hear me. New music. What I gotta do to show what I see. Cause I wanna look alright. You're the best that I've ever had. You're the best that I ever had. Yeah. And I bet we can make it last. Cause I wanna know right. You are amazing. Listen to this part. The part that you play is to grow. And I will water you and garden you. So simple. I will water you and garden you. I will. It's so simple. Water you and garden you. Shout out to Jam. We put the man on the screen what's going on. I'll tell you my best code. If you say yes to forever. Yeah, that's him singing. I just want her to say yes on occasion. Hold on. I gotta say that line. Let me stop. The line is, I just want her to say yes on occasional. Just had to point it out because that's just. Yes on occasion. I tried to hold on. Now look what it cost us. We could have lost us. Could I survive without the kind of plan we got is so unusual. You're the best that I've ever had. You ought to know. No, you ought to know. And I bet we can make it last. I'm just gonna say. Yo, we're gonna get an orchestra to play this, bro. Like a big, like this 100-piece orchestra. We just gonna like, yeah. The part that you play is to grow, and I will water you and garden you. I will water you and garden you. I will water you and garden you. You're the best that I've ever had. Cause I wanna love your eyes. And I bet we can make it last. Cause I wanna love your eyes. I'm just gonna say what I know. You are amazing. Cause I wanna love your eyes. The part that you play is to grow. And I will water you and garden you. You know what it is. Tones only. You know what it is. So, shout out to Jam. I give that man some love. And so we're, this is where we at. The part that you play is to grow. You need to hear water to make sure that we grow. So that's how it is. My biggest thing is, like, tone it down. It's Tones on the pocket, right? Tone it down, and just let yourself be what you're supposed to be. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Share, like, subscribe, or not, whatever. Send this to your mom and them, and to them on your friends, and share it with somebody and let them know that we about to calm down so we can grow. And we're gonna tone it down so we can turn it up. And I think that's the way. So, all right, I'ma holler.